Turlough, what was it like playing League of Ireland in the 60s and 70s?
Well, I have to say I was very lucky. It was brilliant in the senses because of the crowds that there were at that time was great. The atmosphere was excellent and the interest in League of Ireland at that particular time was just amazing. I think most towns, Waterford, Sligo, Cork, Limerick, was fantastic interest in the game, and it was great to be involved.
You started your playing career with Limerick FC, but you're famed for being a Bohemians legend. What was it like playing for Bohs in the swinging 60s?
Well, I was very fortunate because at Bohs in the 60s was just fantastic. They were an amateur club, amateur players, but they were a fantastic team. We did exceptionally well in the league. We won President's Cups and Leinster Cups, and it was great. We had a good manager in Sean Thomas, and we had great players in Willie Brown, Willie Young, Jimmy Conway, Bobby Wade, and Kevin Murray. Super team, and it was just great to be involved.
You were top goal scorer at Bohemians on 7 different seasons. Why do you think you were so successful at the club?
Well, we had a very good side at that particular time, and it meant that we were quite an attacking team. And I think when we won the league in '75, Terry Flanagan and myself both finished with 24 goals each, joint leading goal scorers in the league. But we had a very good team, and goal scorers that have to have a good side behind them. And we had very, very good players at that time. Pat Byrne, Jerry Ryan, Ashley Grimes, that later went on to Man United, and that they played with Bohs at that particular time. And we had a very, very good side. So it made my job a lot easier.
You had a 2-year stint with Fulham and played with the likes of Bobby Robson and Alan Clark. What was it like playing over there?
Yeah, it was a super experience. Fulham were in the First Division, which is now the Premier Division, and it was fantastic to go and sign as a full-time professional from being an amateur, and the money was very good at that particular time. So it was most enjoyable, and I had a super experience over the 2 years. George Cohn was full back, Alan Clark, as you said, Bobby Robson, and they were great guys. But I never settled in London, and I couldn't wait to get back. And after the 2 years, Bobby Robson was manager. I went to Bobby and said, "Look, I won't be back, going home." And he said, "You have to come back after the summer. You have another year of a contract." I said, "Sorry, Bobby, no, I need to go home." And I came back at that particular time. Great experience.
Was there a big difference in the standard of football across the water?
Yes, it's strange you should mention it, but yeah, the fitness levels were totally different, because you're coming from what was a part-time league at that time, which is League of Ireland, to a full-time setup at Fulham, which was it made a huge difference fitness-wise, and the full-time training and that I think brought the levels of fitness so far forward. It was fantastic, and as a matter of fact, that's what helped me tremendously when I came back to League of Ireland, was coming from the full-time training back to the part-time League of Ireland. And when you mentioned what helped, why I was scoring goals and that, I think that gave me a big advantage at that particular time, because I had the full-time training under my belt, and it gave me that extra little bit.
In 1967, you got your first international cap against Czechoslovakia and scored the winner. What was that feeling like?
Well, I have to say it was a tremendous feeling to be picked to represent your country at any time. And the players at that time, you had Alan Kelly in goal, you had Joe Kinnear, Charlie Hurley, Eamon Dunphy. They were great times, and it was great to be involved and to actually play in Prague at that time and win 2-1 and actually score the winner. It was tremendous, yeah. I have to say, most enjoyable.
You're third in the all-time League of Ireland goal scoring chart with 178 goals to your name. What do you put your goal scoring success down to, Turlough?
Well, I said my fitness was always at a very, very good level, and I seemed to, from a very early age, as a young kid, have an eye to score goals, and I think I'd put it down to being in the right place at the right time and having the guile maybe to get goals. But I was lucky, and I think as well playing with good teams in the time that I was playing, I helped tremendously as well, because there were teams that were always there or thereabouts in winning leagues or actually winning leagues, so that helped greatly as well. So, but it was nice to. I always got a great thrill out of getting out and scoring, and I have to say it gave me the greatest pleasure was in scoring. Yeah.
You were successful as a manager too, picking up silverware with both Athlone Town and Dundalk FC. What was the transition like from player to manager?
It was difficult in the sense that I think playing is the greatest part of being involved in football, being able to play, but to be able to stay involved with the players and in players that's coming up was a tremendous opportunity I got as a manager. So that's why I really loved going on to staying involved and becoming manager in Athlone. It's the reason I took the job, and it was great to go into management in the 1980, I think it was, with Athlone, and went and took over as manager of Athlone, and I was lucky enough there was some good players in Athlone. My young brother Michael, who played for Athlone, and I was able to bring my other brother Pádraig, who played with I brought him to Athlone with me, plus Mick Smith, Johnny Fulham, and I was able to add a little bit of experience to the squad in Athlone, and luckily enough we went on and we had some success and a very successful few years in Athlone as manager.
So Turlough, what's been your most memorable moment in football?
Scoring possibly my first goal for Bohemians here against Cork-Hibernians way back, that gave me tremendous pleasure and started me off, I think, on my career in League of Ireland. That's one of the most pleasurable moments I think I've ever had.
How do you feel the standard is now compared to your playing days?
Well, starting off when we were amateur part-time, I think the standard has improved beyond all recognition in League of Ireland. I think the standard is excellent. I think the fitness is fantastic now. Technically, the players are better. I think the standard here is better than what it was. The one thing that's lacking a little bit is the crowds. And we were very fortunate in my day to have very big crowds, great atmosphere at matches, and I sympathise with the players now who are technically fantastic. Fitness-wise, the game is very, very good, and what is lacking is that in some matches it's just that bit of atmosphere and a little bit of crowds that would give it that extra little bit, and hopefully that might come back.
Look, thank you very much for taking the time out to speak with Extratime.ie today.
Well, thank you very much, Louise, and for the interest that you've shown to the league. I think it's fantastic.